lot. And so, Steve, from your perspective, what can we expect moving forward? You've touched on it a couple of times, and I would say, to your point earlier, the media has certainly been dangling this carrot of interest rates coming down all year. I mean, we started off the year with this news. It keeps getting pushed out. Everyone, I don't think I've cared more about Fed meetings in my life than I have this year. I mean, it's just totally changed everyone's perspective. But where do you think we're headed?
Back to the crystal ball, but the media was expecting all of the rates to sit there and drop last year, and back to the inflationary aspect, or I remember when you sit there and you look at what the cost is to sit there and produce some of these products, I don't see them going down. So I think this inflation is something that if they drop rates materially, yeah, you run the risk of actually having inflation take off again. So last year I was struggling to sit there and see them being able to drop it back down like that. To the comment about insurance, I guess I look at it, and again, 20 years being old, I remember when this was actually a reasonable rate, 5-6%. So I struggle with seeing a material change, even if they actually drop rates right now. 1 month rate versus a 5 month, to the federal government, it's almost 1% difference. So if they drop the Fed cost of capital by 100 basis points, and the Fed says, hey, let's drop it 100 basis points or 1%, it's going to get to the point where the yield curve is basically flat or almost back to where it would actually be normal on a risk standpoint. So I don't think it's going to materially impact long-term mortgages or aircraft, 5-year, 7-year, 10-year money. I think that even when you sit there and you hear this and everyone's all excited that the Fed's drop rates, I think it's going to correct something that's in need of being corrected versus materially impacting what the vast majority of the general public is looking for, refinancing a home or buying a home and having interest rates drop. It would take quite a bit more than that to be able to drive it down.
All right, so if I asked you to do one of those scatter plot things that they do, right? You get to be one of the dots. Do you think we're going down a little or not at all in the next 6 months? Those are the only answers you can give me.
Crystal ball, a little or
a little or not at all next 6 months. Come on, you're scatter plotting.
I'm a conservative banker, so I would say not at all.
Okay, not at all next 6 months. All right.
Is really the way.
Do you think we're going up at all?
No.
Okay.
No. And this isn't commerce. This is just.
This is Steve talking.
This is just Steve talking. But I think that some of the things that are happening right now, I think on a real estate standpoint, that's slowing down. I think that there's enough things in the economy that are seeing some pressures that maybe, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that they're going to need to raise interest rates, but I have a hard time believing that they can just immediately drop it without having everyone go out and buy something kind of mentality.
This is fun. I like putting bankers on the spot. All right.